Welcome back to Pen and Prosper, a podcast where we discuss writing and publishing and author mindset and everything in between. I am Melissa Delport and I'm here back with JT today.
Hi,
How
Delports. How are
are
you?
you doing?
Good,
Good.
good. I feel like I haven't seen you in ages.
I know we're out of practice. We're probably going to go back to the talking over each other.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah.
how long has it been since I saw you? A week, 2 weeks, 2 weeks.
It's actually been 3 weeks because I missed
Oh my,
two recordings in a row.
oh wow. Oh
Yeah.
yes,
So
because we had the long Facebook that we
yes,
managed to eke out
yes,
over 2 weeks.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I feel
So,
like completely out of practice now. I'm
uh,
like, it's been a bit of a roller coaster, good things, bad things. But I'm soldiering on, and I'm just so flippin' excited because I finished writing Bad and
yes,
and it's time to write fantasy again, and I love that. Bad I did for money. It wasn't like a book of the heart, you know. I
yes.
knew Mafia romance was selling. I knew Billionaire romance was selling. I'm like, let me just try my hand at it, and it's going really well now, especially with the sixth book out. So it was a really good decision. But like, it's not a book that like I'm desperate to write. You know, like I put up a pre-order 7 for it just because I wasn't finished telling their story. But it's not like, oh, like I'm desperate to get back into that world. Not at all. But urban
But
fantasy, like
commercially, it's doing really, really
commercially, it's
well.
doing
And
really
like
well.
TikTok just eats it up.
Yeah. Well, this is interesting because I wanted to talk to you about the TikTok because you know my urban fantasy has done nothing on the TikTok shop.
Yes.
So I have a plan for that. But you know the Mafia book is doing well. But it's only book one that's selling. It's like we've sold so many copies of book one and only like a handful of subsequent books. And I can't figure it out because it's obviously a very different audience because on Amazon, the read-through rate is sky high. Like if you read book one, you read the rest of the series, which is fantastic and I love it. And they're cliffhangers, so that helps a lot. But with TikTok, like they're not following on, and I'm not sure why.
Even here, when I printed a whole lot of copies of Gardens of Summerfell series, book one was always gone and the rest weren't. And Tracy, who's been in publishing, I mean, she was head of marketing for Penguin for
Yeah.
13 years. She printed the Legacy trilogy and the same thing. Book one went sold out. Like now, I have boxes of books two and three, but it's crazy, and you just think, did they hate it? Like, what
Yeah, it
did,
doesn't make sense to me because I'll
it really
always read the
doesn't make
second
any
book in a
sense.
series.
Me too.
But I did learn an interesting thing. Well, it's basically what you're saying about Tracy. You know, I'm working with Pierre now on direct sales in the States.
Yeah.
So he's got 12 of my books, right? Both UF series, 6 books each.
Okay. Okay. So
Okay.
you're not doing bad there.
No, he doesn't want to, um, which is also interesting. I think he doesn't want to do anything that's remotely,
Controversial.
yeah, yeah. Um,
Okay. Fair
and
enough.
yeah, so it's also very interesting. So we're going to be doing bad ourselves, which is also fine. And also, like Pierre and I reach a point where it's like, okay, now it's time to do your steamy romance, you know, because it's not crazy, it's not dark romance, it's not dubcon, it's not any of those things. It's just very spicy. So there's
Okay.
nothing too like risky about them, I don't think. But anyway, so my point was that even though Pierre is going to be selling 12 of my books, that's both series and urban fantasy, he's only printing the first 3 books in Cursebreaker
Oh,
because he
wow.
does, yeah, he does quite big print runs because he has a printer and he has a warehouse and all of that. So he's only printing the first 3 in like a proper print run, and then all the rest will be print on demand. It makes so much
Okay.
sense.
Yeah, 100%. And
And
is
at
he
first I was
printing
like,
equal quantities or is it staggered?
I think it's equal quantities, but I wouldn't be
Okay.
surprised if he used staggered because that makes more sense to me. Another reason it surprised me is because I know direct sales, it's often bundles that make the money. So I was thinking like, no, you must sell a like all
Oh,
6 as
yes. I
a
was going to
bundle
say, why don't
as
you
a
just put
discount.
them together?
Yeah. Then why we're only printing the first 3 if you want to sell the bundle? Because that's where the
Oh,
money
yes.
is. But he
Yes.
obviously has a plan, and there is print on demand. So if someone orders all 6 in the series, then he won't have the stock immediately on hand, but he can just do the print on demand thing, right?
Yes.
So I mean, we haven't actually started selling yet. So I'll tell you when the website's live, and I'll tell you how it goes. But I just thought that was quite interesting.
I thought you'd started already
We
because you signed
started,
with him quite a while ago.
yeah, we started with the back end stuff, but we're not live. I wasn't
Okay.
happy with the banner artwork, so I did it myself.
Okay.
And I've been so hectic with deadlines and stuff. I haven't had time to do
Yes, it is. You
anything.
haven't had time to do any of these
Yeah. I
things.
actually took a picture of my desktop this morning because it's ridiculous. You know when I'm overwhelmed when I have like a million things on my desktop. So like
On
I'm
your
still in
actual
that phase.
screen.
Yes, yes.
Yes, I'm the same. If I'm busy, then there's everything on the
Yeah,
screen. And then as I
everything.
do things, I clear.
Yeah, exactly.
I
I'm
think we
still
have
like,
much the same system. Like I'll send myself emails but can I tell you, I learned a new one. My new favorite
okay, okay.
is now I used to send myself emails or write in my book, like on a big like list. I think you're the same, right?
Yeah,
Write
yes.
in my like book and then I'll highlight as I go. The notes on my Mac, you know your notes?
Yeah.
And you can do them as a to-do list. So as you tick off, it goes to the bottom, ticked off.
Yes,
And then
yes,
you add but it also just gives me such a sense, like I can actually go back and see everything that I'm like, sure, I've really done a lot this week.
yes.
Like
No, that's
that's
brilliant.
amazing because when
Yeah.
I'm feeling overwhelmed and I'm not getting enough done, I'm like, but look how much you've done this
Yeah,
week.
yeah. That's it. That's the reason I only use paper lists. I never use digital lists because I feel like it just like disappears. But
Yes,
if I have a paper list, you get to cross it
yes, you
out
tick
and you
it
can
off.
see.
Just something to try.
I use notes a lot, but not for to-do lists. I use it for like,
Yes.
have you tried
Okay.
OmniFocus before?
No.
Mike swears by it. I think you'll love it because it's similar to what you're saying with notes. It's like very
Okay.
organized. You've got lists, you can see what you've done, and apparently it's brilliant, but I'm like a paper girl still.
Okay.
Pen and
Okay.
paper.
Pen and paper. I know there's something beautiful about pen and paper. I don't know how long we'll have it too. We may as well enjoy it while we
And
can.
also I can give myself stickers like when I reach my goals. Which
Yeah,
I'm sure
true
we
story.
can do digital too, but like it's not the same.
No, that's not the same. That's not the same. Okay, so today to ease us back into it, we are doing our very first reader question focused pod. So we
Yay.
have had quite a few questions come through over the past few weeks, not as many as we'd like, and we'd really love you guys to send questions. So we thought this is a perfect way to show what we're going to do with all those questions. So we will consolidate everybody's questions, and every few weeks we will do a reader question episode where we answer
Mhm.
questions that have been sent in. And I think it's really nice because it makes it a little bit more dynamic for us
Yeah,
as well,
yeah.
instead of just screaming out into the void. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Bring it on.
Okay. All right.
Are these real
Read a
reader
question.
questions,
No,
Delport,
these
or
are
did you
real
make
reader
them up?
questions. Real reader questions. They've been sent in. They've been put on the YouTube. A lot of them came from Shanae.
Oh, hi,
One,
Shanae.
yes, she did ask quite a few questions. Speaking of shout outs though, before we mention Shanae, don't we have someone important to mention?
Yes. We want to say a very big thank you to Vicky, who is our first paid subscriber.
I think that is so cool.
I know,
I
it's so
think once we
cool.
have like lots of paid subscribers, I think at the end of every episode, I saw this on another podcast and I loved it. At the end of every episode, they thank their like
Yes,
paid subs.
yes.
So we started with her. She gets a special shout out because
Thank you,
that's
Vicky.
like yeah,
Awesome.
it's so cool. Like
Yeah, and she sent me
from
such a
one.
nice message.
Oh, that's so nice. It's also
Yeah,
just nice to know that we're actually adding value, right?
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, we
exactly.
see. I'm just going to
We,
steal your
we.
credit. We. I'm bringing personality to the table. I'm pretty sure at this.
I won't take that as an insult.
Oh yeah, I didn't mean. You know what I mean? Look, now I'm going red. Okay, I didn't mean it like that. All right. So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
So a lot of these are some of them are writing questions. Well, I can definitely get involved in those too. Look at that. So the first question is, what writing structures do we use in our books?
Why don't you go first?
Mm. Oh, use as a pantser, I just don't really use a structure. I don't think this is referring to software. I think actually, like, I remember you mentioned that lovely 29, how many? Setup
Yes, Derek Murphy's
Derek
book.
Murphy's. I
Yeah,
don't use anything like that, but I think, yeah, with having written so many, I think structure starts to come naturally. You do it anyway without being
absolutely.
cognizant of it. So I don't use any particular structure. I just write the story that comes out organically, and it seems to work.
Mm, yeah.
I think most writers lend themselves to that final big scene, and then the kind of,
Yeah, because we've been trained since we started reading books and watching
reading.
movies. Like it's intuitive, I think,
Yes.
at this stage.
Do you use any structure, or have you
I
used any
do.
structure in any particular book?
Yeah, I do. I love structure, you know me. But I have a very so I went from like zero structure and zero knowledge of tropes and that kind of thing to like full on like I've got the tropes, I've got the spreadsheet, I've got in fact like at when I was writing the When Tomorrow Call series, I was so flippant organized and I had a spreadsheet. And if you read a book called The Story Grid by Sean Coyne, it's it's basically about editing. And him
Okay.
and an author had a podcast. I think it was also called The Story Grid. And I listened to so many of those episodes. It was so interesting. It was basically Sean coaching this author um, when he was writing his first book. So
Okay.
super interesting for me to listen to. But the editing part was so useful because then instead of writing a book and then trying to edit it the way Sean was saying you should edit it, instead I put it in the actual structure when I was writing. It
Okay.
made writing so easy, and you just hit those beats, and like it gives you so much confidence when you're writing that book because like every chapter nailed it, nailed it. So I
Okay.
really love that. It is a lot of work, and I don't find it like necessary anymore. I do prefer a more intuitive way of writing. But that's for an author that's not very confident, I would really recommend reading that book before writing
Okay.
and putting it into your actual writing process. And
Okay.
just so you have an idea of what it is, it was a spreadsheet.
Yes.
You'd have scenes running down like that, one scene per chapter, and then each chapter there would have to be a change. So it could be now this was like 5 years ago, so I don't know the term, I don't remember the terms exactly, but like the scene could change from happy to sad, or the thing can be from danger to safety. And there's a
Okay.
polarity change every scene. And that
Okay.
really keeps the story going,
And
which
multiple
amazes me.
scenes per chapter.
Like it's not really talking about chapters, it's more talking about scenes.
Okay.
But every scene has this polarity change. And if you have a
Okay.
scene that doesn't have that change, then it's a wasted scene and it shouldn't be in your book. And if you know
Oh,
that
wow.
when you're writing or before you're writing, it makes you save so many words. You don't throw away words in your edit.
Yes.
And like even
Yes.
now, like I don't throw away words. I never ever throw away words. And I think
Okay.
most authors would be horrified by that. They'd be like, no, like you half that chapter you don't need, toss it. No, like I'm
My
so
words are there for a reason.
yeah. It's like I get paid per word, man. Um, so yeah, it was a fantastic like training experience for me, I think, because then you
Okay.
really like you learn that and it becomes more intuitive. I'll actually just send you a spreadsheet just for fun because I still have them. So the story grid thing is what I used to do, but now I use like a 12 point structure that I got from Chuck Wendig. Do you know Chuck Wendig?
Yes.
Yeah, very cool guy. Um, and he has like this, I think it's 12 or 14 points, and it starts with like one, it's very simple. One, there's a problem. Two, I've thought of a solution. Three, I've made it worse. It goes like that, tick, tick, tick. And then at the end, it's like there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And then the next one is the light is a velociraptor with a flashlight in its mouth. And then the last one
Okay.
is I've defeated the velociraptor, but things have changed.
Okay. Oh, that's actually
So,
such a nice way to look at it,
yeah,
is to
it's
make it a bit
very
more
cool.
fun.
All the books I write now, all the short stories, I follow that. There's like 12 points. I can put it in the
Okay.
show notes if you
Yes,
like, and
please
links to
do,
Chuck.
because I'd
Yeah.
like to look at that. I haven't seen it.
Okay.
The next
Okay.
one, what program do you use to write? I know what you use, but you go for
Scrivener.
a
We love
Scrivener.
Scrivener.
So I didn't love Scrivener. The spicy book that I've written now is the first time I've ever started and finished a book in Scrivener.
No way, really?
And I've had it for about 10 years. I don't know,
Oh
like,
my goodness.
and every time I've started a manuscript in Scrivener, I've started it and I've invariably ended up copy pasting it into Word because I didn't even know how to export it to Word. And
Really?
yeah, and then I'd have all these Excel spreadsheets, or I'd have all in the bottom of my manuscript, I'd have all my notes. But it's worth putting in the effort to learn how to use Scrivener. Now that I've used it properly, I'm like, I can't, like, it's just so, the notes on the side and
Great. Eh?
your locations and your set, like, I've got all the places that they go. I quickly pop it
Yeah.
into the
Yeah.
places so that I don't forget what it was called. Where was that restaurant they went? Oh, yes, it was called this.
And also
Um,
you have that eagle eye, the bird's eye view of all your chapters. Like that helps me
yes,
so much. I know you can do
yes.
that in Word, but I'm not like good at Word, so I don't know
No,
how to
I
do
wouldn't
it.
know how to. Yes, if you're looking for something, where was that? Oh, there it is.
Yeah. And then you can just quickly move a chapter, delete. It's so great.
Yeah.
And then also, do you use the project function when you count your words, and it tells you when your deadline is?
No, so I haven't done deadline for it, but it does tell me how many I've written in that session to get to my
Okay.
goal, which I love,
Yeah.
like
Yes.
2,000 words, and then you see
And it
it
goes
creeping
green.
up. Yes,
Yeah.
and then your top, and then obviously how far you're on your manuscript, how many words, like that's really, really nice to keep me
Yeah.
like motivated every
Yeah.
day.
If you go into that thing and then you put your deadline, your first draft deadline, it works out what you need to write every day. And you put your writing days. Like
Oh,
for
I
me, it's
didn't
Monday to
know
Thursday.
that.
Then it'll say, okay, like you had a big day yesterday, so today you can write a little bit less than
A
normal
little
or
bit
whatever.
less. So we've spoken about this before that every
Yes.
character I have a celebrity or a
Yes.
Google image search or a photograph of what that character looks like.
Yeah, that's
And
brilliant.
it's purely so that when I think of the character, I don't have to go back and go, did they have dark hair? Did they have blue eyes? I've got the picture. The picture's
Yeah.
there. And on Scrivener, you can put the picture there. So
Yeah.
you can trick same thing, bird's eye of your characters, and you can see them all sitting there, almost like a movie cast.
That is such a good tip. It's
It's
brilliant.
so nice. And
I love that
so
tip. I think it's absolutely brilliant. Note on consistency of eye color and that kind of thing. If you have not been as clever as you to have your strategy where you remember what everyone looks like, it can get overwhelming. But what you can do is pop your manuscripts into Notebook LM and ask what the characters look like and put together a story Bible so that you never have to go through your actual book to look for things like that.
oh, really?
It's brilliant.
What is Notebook LM?
That's the one that you feed in your whole manuscript and you can ask it questions.
Okay.
You can you can ask for emotional hooks. You can ask what someone's name is. I use it when I
Is it
brief.
free?
Yeah, I use it
Wow.
when I brief my audiobook company, a production company, because they ask like, please list the characters and their personalities. Are there any accents? Da da da. And like give us like a blow by blow of the book. And I don't know, like I don't want to sit and do that. So
And
I
go through
just
it, yes.
I feed it in, and it takes me 5 minutes to answer all those questions, like reams of information for them if they want it. It's
Oh,
amazing.
that's divine. That's so smart. Okay, I'm
I
going to
can't
try
believe you haven't
that.
played with it. You know what you'll love,
Yeah.
Delport. Put in a book and then ask them to do a little podcast about it. And then you have these two AI voices, male and female, and they talk about your book. And they're like, wow, like this book was
And
it's
of course,
action
yeah, being
packed.
AI, it's going to be nothing but
Yeah,
complimentary. It's going to be like,
compliments
this is
coming out of your ears. You're like,
incredible.
you'll love it.
Right. Question three. Are pre-orders, okay, this is definitely going to be for you. I don't think I've ever done a pre-order in my life. Are pre-orders a different price to release prices? What is the benefit for author and the benefit for reader? Very good
Yep,
question.
very good question. You might have to remind me of the like follow up
Second
thing,
part.
but
Okay, so
yeah,
are
the
they different price?
so I keep my pre-orders full price.
Okay.
So, for example, my billionaire books, they're at 6.99, and all my pre-orders were 6.99. And an important thing to remember is if you go when it's still in pre-order, in the pre-order phase, if you go in and you make the price less, like let's say, okay, I wanted 99 cents now, every single one of those pre-orders you got at full price will revert to that lower price.
Okay. Got you.
So
So
don't,
stick.
yeah,
Don't.
yeah,
Okay.
unless that's what you want to do for whatever reason. But don't go in and play with the price in the pre-order phase. Do that when it's live.
Okay.
And then another thing is to not enroll your book in KU while it's in pre-order phase, because some readers will then not buy it.
Okay.
Whereas,
Oh, that's clever. I didn't even think
yeah,
of that.
yeah.
Well, I won't
So,
have to.
oh yeah, you don't do pre-orders, so it doesn't have to matter.
Right. So we stick to the same price.
Yeah,
And then once it's released, you can then lower your price if you want to. But I feel like that would actually be hurtful.
yeah,
You would rather have a cheaper price on for pre-order or
yeah.
just hold it the same.
Yeah, I would. I don't discount my titles unless I have to. Like if
Okay.
I'm doing a pre-order on, I mean a promotion on a book one in a
Yes.
series or something like that. Otherwise,
Okay.
it's always full price. Because I wrote the Billionaire series for money, basically, I thought I'm gonna put the price quite high and see how it goes. And if I have to bring it down, I will. But it's
Okay.
doing fine at that full price, so I'm gonna leave it there.
Okay. Okay.
Whereas like Urban Fantasy, Blood Magic, those books are on at $5. Cursebreaker's on at six. Sorry, I think yeah, I think Cursebreaker's on at $7 too because they're so chunky. They're like it's 100,000
Yeah.
words.
Yes.
So yeah, I basically charge full price on everything.
Okay. Perfect. And then what is the benefit for author and the benefit for reader with the pre-order?
The benefit for the author is you get to lock in all those sales while you're still writing the book.
Mhm.
So that's what's
Do you
amazing
get
for me.
paid
No,
before the book is released? No, only once the book comes out, in case
60
they need to
days.
refund.
60 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because if there was a problem or if you failed to deliver, they could then refund. Okay.
Yes. Other benefits for authors, it's very motivating to have a pre-order deadline and also quite stressful.
Yes, yes, because it keeps you writing. Otherwise, you could potentially release book one and then, oh, as and when. It's kind
Yeah,
of what I
exactly.
have traditionally
Yeah.
been known to do. And the benefit for readers, I would assume it's just convenience. If they're looking for the next book in a series, they can pay for it now and it's
Yeah.
done. And as soon as it releases, it appears on their
Yeah.
Kindle.
And if you're following an author that you love and you've just finished a book of theirs that you love and you know there's another one in the series, but it's not available to buy, then you just want to like make sure that you're going to get it. So you just quickly pre-order it, right?
Yes. Okay. Pre-orders. That's me this year. Pre-orders are coming. Okay, what do you earn off KU when readers read for free?
So KU readers don't read for free because they're paying a monthly subscription, right?
Subscription names.
So all that money that goes into the subscription pot is shared between the authors participating in KU. And
Yes,
then
who are
obviously,
being read. Yeah.
yes. So obviously Amazon takes their slice and then it's divided, the money's divided up. And then that's why the rate you get paid per page read is different every month because the pot is different every month.
It's blown my mind when money has seemed to come out of thin air in certain places, like ACX years ago. Remember with the Audible codes? So
Yes.
authors were getting paid for the codes, readers were getting the
Hmm.
codes for free. So ACX was funding this huge empty space in the middle. And now 11 Reader seems to be much the same. So
Yes.
11 Reader, we're putting our books on for free, readers are listening for free, but authors are getting paid. So
Yeah.
they're funding that. But I think, yeah, they're obviously bringing it from the other side, the publishing side, or somewhere to build it. I have
Yeah.
no doubt that it won't be indefinite.
They have seen the growth in the audiobook market and they're like,
Yes.
we are totally getting in
We
on
want
this
our own platform. But how do you pull readers away from the mighty Audibles and the mighty Spotifys? You give
price.
authors incentive to put their
Hmm.
books on to get paid, readers
Hmm.
for free. And I think authors are going to drive everybody there, right?
Yeah.
Authors are going to say,
And
go listen to my books, they're free for you.
remember, it's all AI narrated stuff.
Yeah,
So there's no cost.
for them. Yeah. Yeah.
There's no cost for the author, there's no cost for them. So they can charge very little per listen and still
Mm.
make loads of
Money.
money. And that's how they're going to get the Audible audience, I think, because
Yes.
Audible is amazing, but it's so expensive.
The way that they've done it, that you can change the narrator, I think
Yeah.
that's just genius.
Joanna
Be
Penn has been talking about this for years. She's like, guys, in the future, you're not going to have to listen to an audiobook narrated by like a male English 50-year-old. No, you're going to be able to listen to it. I'm talking about nonfiction now, obviously, because you don't want to
yes.
change the characters, whatever. But like if you
Yes.
listen to nonfiction and you are a Pakistani lady, then you want to listen in a Pakistani lady accent, you know?
And you just
So
pick that, yeah, and you carry
yeah,
on.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it's
yeah.
genius. I don't
It
think
is.
many
It
people are going to
is.
put their hands up for the South African narration.
You never know.
You
Some
never
people like our
know.
accents, not
Exactly.
many.
Exactly. So,
Authors listening must hop onto 11 Reader and get their books on there
yes, 100%. I've got
because
all of mine up now. The whole
brilliant. Well done.
shebang. The whole
Well done.
shebang. Obviously not Shadow Magic, but everything else is up.
I'm going to put all my short stories on there. I think that'll be good. I mean, I'm going to put everything,
Oh,
but I'm
that's
also
so
going to,
clever.
because I've got 72 short stories.
Oh, wow, that's a lot. Are those what not the ones that are included in Sticky Fingers? Those are just
No, no,
individual
no. Those
ones.
are the sticky
Oh, they
fingers.
are. Do you think
Yeah.
we're allowed to? Because I've got two short story collections, so that's what, 24 short stories. But do you think I can do them individually, or do you think that would be a
There's
T's and C's?
definitely, that's what they want, I think, because you only get paid for the first, like, is it like 4 minutes or how does it work? They
11
reward
minutes. An engaged
11
reader,
minutes.
11 minutes. Yeah.
That's a short story.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's like Spotify also rewards short stories. Apparently, I'm not on there properly yet. I mean, I am, but I haven't done all my individual stories on Spotify yet. But I think the short story thing for 11 reader is fantastic.
Do the countdown deals work? I'm assuming this is on Kindle. Do the Kindle countdown deals work?
They
In my
work.
experience, only if you drive people to them. I don't think they work organically. Like if you just go and put your book into KU and you say, I'm going to have a countdown deal and I'm not going to do anything. I've done that once and I don't think I had a single blip
Mm,
because I think in the old days in the Kindle rush there were only like one or two promotional things on Amazon. So if you got into them, the efficacy was amazing. But I think now so many people can do it. I mean, every
yeah,
author who's registered in KU can have a countdown deal. So I think the competition is too fierce unless you then pay for a promo. I would assume
yeah,
your experience is the same.
yeah.
I don't know if you've
I
ever run
agree.
one without promo like I did with such confidence.
No, yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, no, I did, and I can highly not recommend.
The great thing about those deals is you still get paid 70% royalty, even if you drop your price to 99 cents for a promo. So that's why I love them, which doesn't sound like a lot, but you're basically getting double the money. For every promo you're paying for, you're getting double the ROI.
Yes.
So that's why
Okay.
I like them.
Okay. How? Oh, my bad. The question was, how do the countdown deals work?
Okay, well,
Not
that's
do the
fun.
countdown deals work. So now we've told you how they work. How they? Did we answer that question?
No. So
No.
how it works is every 90 days you can do a Kindle countdown deal and you can make your price go from like your full price down to 99 cents in a staggered way, or you can just choose for it to go to 99 cents and back up again or whatever. But
And it's for
that's how
5 days, isn't it? Or 7 days? five
you can
days.
choose. You can choose. You can have a Kindle
Okay.
countdown deal on one day if you want to.
Okay. And you can only do this every 3 months.
Yes, every KDP enrollment period. And the other
Strategy.
option is the free book promotion, which is on the same page on your KDP dashboard as the Kindle Countdown deal. And you can just choose if you want a few free days. And I think you can also get 5 or 7 days there.
Right. What are newsletter swaps? I know you did stacks of these for me, Monik.
Jeez, yeah,
I think you were the
hundreds.
queen of the newsletter swap. I have the most beautiful newsletter sign up sheets for all three of my brands, and I have them nowhere because I'm like, I went as far as making the sheets, the sign up sheets. I was
Very
like,
good.
what do I do with these? Oh, well.
Okay, so do you want to explain what a newsletter swap is?
So a newsletter swap is when you partner with another author, preferably someone who writes in a similar genre, who has an audience that you want to reach. So when you can cross pollinate your readerships.
Oh,
So
yes.
is it right? Cross pollinate or
Yeah,
cross
I suppose so. I like it.
promote? There's a
Cross
lot of
promote,
this going, a lot
sweet.
of spicy romance written recently. So you want to reach their readers, and in return, you will then promote their book in your newsletter. So that's why it's called a swap. And it's
Yes.
just a cross promotion of two
Yeah.
authors who are telling their own readers about someone else's book and why they should read it.
Yeah. And I think it's pretty effective as long as you don't spam your list too much. Because I think that is a risk, especially if you do like multiple swaps a week. Then when you're mailing your list, you're like, and here's another book, and here's another book, and here's another book. And that's not really
Yes.
why the reader signed up to your mailing list.
So when I first, and I know I'm going to sound so snobby for saying this, and there's still a part of me that thinks this because I'm such an avid reader. And I'm so passionate about books. I found it in the beginning really difficult because I did do swaps through Book Funnel and Story Origin. So what I mean is I never used my own sign-up sheets. I did do them
Mm,
through. I was so worried that by mentioning it, it was going to be seen as I was um, recommending. What's the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like you're recommending a
Like
story
I'm
that you've
recommending a
never
story.
read.
And what if the story was cuck? Like I
Yeah,
wouldn't know. I'd never read the book, and
exactly.
some and so it's it didn't sit well with me,
Mm,
and I kind of avoided it for a while. And then eventually I was like, you know what? I think it's become such common practice that readers who are subscribing to newsletters kind of know the drill. It's still on you to do your due diligence of the book, look, read the sample. And generally that's what it would come with was a free sample. But yeah, I did struggle with that quite
yeah,
quite significantly for a long
yeah,
time.
me
And
too.
eventually I got over it and I was like, I have to build my list. Yeah.
So I did all those many newsletter swaps for Micah with the Urban Fantasy stable, but
Yes.
I've never really done them. I mean, might have done a few, but I didn't want to do that to my mailing list. I haven't done that to my mailing list. With Micah, we used to send an email every Friday, and it was with 3 books every single
Okay.
Friday. And for
Which
me,
means
like
you were
that's
getting mentioned by three on the other
yeah, and it
side.
was really effective. But
Okay.
like I wouldn't want to do that to my readers. Like it just
Yes.
feels wrong. And as you say, like you don't know the quality of the books that you're recommending. So yeah, I don't do it to my own.
Yeah, I won't do it anymore either. And although since I've moved from MailerLite to Substack, my newsletter, I've barely written. I find that Substack is really nice because it's got so much functionality.
Yeah,
You can do a podcast, you can do the notes or the microblogging, which I really, really enjoy. You can do um, your newsletter, you can have follows, you can read other people's, like it's very, very dynamic as a
yeah,
platform. But in terms of sending out a newsletter, I really don't like it as
yeah,
much. I
yeah.
don't
And also
find it as
ContraFunnels.
yeah, I find that it's just a little bit limiting in the actual newsletter side of things. But it's okay because I think the benefits outweigh the
Yeah,
what
I
I've
think so
lost on the
too.
MailerLite side. And MailerLite was costing me quite a bit, and
Mm.
Substack is free for now. So
Well, it can even make you money because once you have some readers who want to support you, instead of using Patreon, they can use Substack. And
yes.
so I actually make money off my Substack where I used to lose money on my
But
MailChimp.
how do you so I keep looking at because every time I open my Substack, it's encouraging me to do that paid go to paid, which obviously doesn't make it paid for everyone. But then I feel that the pressure to keep creating special content.
Yeah.
Because what are your paid subscribers like for you, for example? What are your paid subscribers getting? I mean, I know they're getting
Nothing.
something. That's why they.
No, they're
Oh
not.
no! Oh, is
No,
it
they're
more like a
basically.
Patreon, so they can just pay because they decided to?
So if I want to send something to my paid subscribers only, which is only like 5 people, then I
Okay.
can. But and in fact, like I think I mean I have a few times just saying hi and like maybe given them a short story that no one else got, whatever. But I don't think those people are there for that. I think they are there to support the authors, you know. They just want to, it's like as you say, it's like Patreon,
Patreon. Okay.
and they just want to show their support, like buy your coffee or whatever.
Yes, I love that part of Patreon. It was like, I'm going to buy you a coffee. Like,
Yeah, it's so
as
nice.
authors, we work in coffee shops quite a fair amount.
Yeah,
And it's so sweet that like you would have this patron who would be like, I'd
yeah,
like to sponsor your coffee this week. I think
yeah.
it's a very cool system. Look, I might hit that button and see what happens. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you
But
could even say, you could say, guys, there is the option to support me, buy me a coffee, whatever, by becoming a paid subscriber. Um,
it's yeah, but you're not getting anything extra.
yeah, I mean, you don't have to say that as long as you don't promise anything
Well, I
extra.
just did, didn't I? I guess no one watching this podcast is going to go subscribe to my thing.
No.
But that's okay because they must just buy my book when it comes out. I'll be
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, readers support us in different ways. So,
yes, yes. Okay, all right. I think that's kind of covered newsletter swaps. I know. I think this was Shanae who asked this question, and I think as an aspiring author, one thing that we need to say is never underestimate the power, the mighty power of your mailing list.
yes,
I know we've let our slide, but they are without a doubt, I think, one of the most valuable tools in an author's
definitely.
arsenal. So,
Definitely.
yeah, we need to get cracking back onto that.
It's in my strategy for
Yeah.
the last quarter of this year.
Okay.
I'm going to actually grow my list. I haven't tried to grow my list for years.
So
I've
as you
actually
know,
been,
I'm in that exercise of growing my list.
yes,
But the problem is I'm focusing on Substack, not on readers, and Substack to me is a community of authors. Maybe go back to doing the book funnel but I just feel that that market just is so saturated.
it is saturated. I think it still works, but it's saturated, and I think readers have had enough of it. Like they just don't want to be
Yeah,
in their
and they
funnels
sub sign
anymore.
up, and then the next week they sign out, and then
Yeah.
I think that I'm going to shift focus to putting in reader magnets in the back of my books that are added scenes, bonus scenes,
Yes.
shifting POV scenes. And I already have written one. I've told you for the steamy romance. I've
Yes.
already written
Yes.
one that I will put at the end. If you want to hear this scene from this perspective, or then sign up,
Exactly.
and that'll be a really good test because that's a fresh. There's no subscribers there, so
Yeah.
I'll soon know if it's working.
Yeah. Maybe
Um,
we should do a strategy session about this because my plan is very similar. I mean, I'm basically
okay.
going to be doing reader magnets for my fantasy and my romance, and then
Yes.
like you, starting from scratch, using a paid mailing thing and with a funnel, but try and make it so it's not like this boring sausage factory thing where the readers just like sent all these automatic emails. I mean, I hate that as a reader. I hate it as a
Yeah.
consumer. So just try and make it cool, whether it's like giving even more free content in those, or I don't know, but I think we should do a strategy session and make
I
sure that our
think
plan is really good.
we should definitely do a strategy session, but I think it should be after you go to your millionaire group and post that very same question, and kind of do like a what are you guys going to be doing in
Yes.
terms of growing your mailing list? And
Yeah.
we will copy paste the crap out of
Yeah. Let's do it.
it.
Let's do it.
Okay. I mean, why are we in that group if we can't get some?
We. Do you know that the next meeting is really soon? It's in March, which feels really soon to me. You know the one in New Zealand?
Yes.
And they're really taking bookings, dude. I need to like book already, and you know how expensive it is.
It's because
The
it's so far
actual
away. It's like us. Like
so
it's
far
just,
away. I'm
but
gonna
it's
have to
so
pay
beautiful.
for
And you
flight.
are going to do the Lord of the Rings tour, right? Because
Definitely.
that's like the only reason to go.
It's even better than that. There's a Lord of the Rings tour, but the day before the conference, we're going to Hobbiton, which is like the set where they shot all the
Yes,
Hobbit
yes,
stuff. And I
yes.
can't wait. And you have a feast and
Oh,
everything. And I can't wait. And my
oh,
poor
it's gonna be
children. Can you imagine?
amazing.
My poor
Oh,
children.
oh, they're gonna be so it's okay. Next time you'll take them. That's what we're doing here. Remember, we are making money so that we can give our family experiences. Okay,
Yes,
no
yes.
Prada handbags up in this business. Hobbiton or bust.
Hobbiton. Anyway, so we might have to have a mini strategy before Hobbiton so that we
Yes,
can get onto our newsletters and then tweak
yes.
it according
I
to their
think
advice.
that 100%. So I'm starting to lean more and more into strategy because of, you've been grooming me. And
You make it sound so dirty.
well, we got smut now, so we got to bring it in. It's like punting. It's like subliminal punting for our audience to go and look us up. So I need to think how I'm going to do it effectively.
Yes,
Whereas previously that would have just been send out a newsletter. Like, no, just
yes,
sending out a newsletter is not
yeah,
getting you anywhere, Melissa. Like,
yes.
you need to. Okay, so should we will diarize that? Are we saying the last quarter of the year?
Yes, I think that would be good for
Okay.
me. I've got a lot of stuff to do before then that I want to
Yes.
do before then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Shall we tell the lovely people about your smut series and how I might be publishing it for you?
So part of my strategy was to let JT help me.
Yeah,
Her help
make
me.
JT do everything.
Well, I mean, I did do the writing, so I feel like I've done enough. No,
No,
so
you
I
have, you
do. I
have.
know that we keep talking about this. I mustn't put a ceiling on myself that's not there, but without a doubt, you've seen it with the TikTok. Like there are digital territory issues from here that
Yes,
I struggle against all the time.
yes, yes,
Um, I have opened, just for an example, a TikTok account for the new, just to kind of test the waters, and you can just see the people that are like, it's not book talk over here.
mm,
It's not book talk. So I'm not going to reach the audience that I want to reach. And I think if you're in the UK or the US, it is just a little bit
easier,
easier to
definitely.
gain traction. Also, that conversation that we had about strategy with building in stable, my strategy now is to build two strong stables, urban fantasy and steamy romance. I mean,
Mhm.
am I a copycat? you know, I didn't say it, but I did think it.
Yes.
I mean, it's a working strategy, right? So,
Yeah,
so you've got Blair Butler, and you taking a year off to do urban fantasy. So I thought, well, what a great opportunity to keep that brand
going.
in Amazon's algorithms, but
Mhm.
also it obviously serves me because TikTok Shop and TikTok and all of that side of
Hmm.
things is a lot
Hmm.
easier from there.
Yeah.
Um, and the ads, the Amazon ads, you obviously are the master of those. So this was my plan, was to pitch it to you and hope that it would kind of fit in that stable, and then we can do it as a bit of a co-op.
Well, I hope it's good because I would really like to publish it.
Yeah, I think that it is. I like to think that it is, but I mean, I could be wrong.
No, you're a good writer, so I'm not too
Yeah.
worried.
And you know what? The if the smut is not good, that can be fixed, I think.
Yeah, I can fix
You
it.
know? Remember, for me also, I've always loved the hybrid. I've always loved being a hybrid
Yes. Yeah.
because I know what I'm good at and I know what I'm not good at.
Yeah.
And although I can learn what I'm not good at, I don't think I'll ever be as good at it as I am as going back to the basics. I want to write lots of stories. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And as
job
you said
satisfaction, I
yesterday,
don't love it.
yeah, yeah, exactly. As you said yesterday,
So
writing fast is your superpower,
yeah.
and writing is what you enjoy most about this job. So
Yes.
to lean into that as much as possible. And
Yeah.
and I love publishing. I love writing, but I love publishing and the business side. So I think it'll work well. Let's hope.
Yeah, I do too. I hope that it's a good fit.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, what's the worst that can happen? You say, don't put and then we have a good laugh and we publish it in little serials at the end of every pod for people to rip apart. And it's a win-win.
That's a good idea.
It's not because it's fantastic.
I know it's going to be good, and even if it's not good, which I really, really doubt, it's already written. It's a book. You can fix a book that's not
Yes. It's like the publisher that asked to see the middle grade series.
good.
So I
Yes,
submitted this morning, but I had to change a whole lot of it. I had to South Africanize it because I've got so used to writing in America, you know.
yes,
Um, but I had to change some names and put some real like local flavor into it. And I was working through it and I thought, no, you know what? Just from a time perspective, Lloyd actually sat me down and he was like, from a time perspective, you can't go through this whole book. What if they don't want it when it's done?
yes.
So I was like, that's such a good point. It's written. It just needs to be changed. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do 6 chapters. Look, by 6 chapters, they're going to have an idea. And also, the way that I pitched it was not, yeah, I hope you like my submission. I kind of was like, this is the bones of it. Do you think there is a place in the South African market for a story such as this? And if so, I'm very open. I'm not precious about it. If you have ideas to write this to market, tell me, and then I'll change
Hmm.
it for that.
Yeah,
You know, gone are the days where I'm like, no, this is my story and it's my heart song, and you can't. I'm
yeah,
like, if you want to bend it, break it, shift it, change it to make money,
yeah. Let's
that's
do
what
it.
we do.
Yeah.
So the same thing I would say to you. You can say, okay, Dumpert, look, you got this is what you need to do. Otherwise, it's not going to
Mhm.
work. There's certain
And
things I'm precious about and certain things I'm not.
yeah, I think both of us for our romance books, our
Yeah.
steamy romance books, it's about making money. It's not about being
Yes.
precious. So,
Yes.
and also, romance is just so much easier to sell and to advertise. And I was listening
No.
to something yesterday, and the very clever author was saying that she will only write a book that is easy to advertise. And I thought, it's such a simple way of looking at it. It's like you're not
Yeah.
talking about tropes, you're not talking about writing to market. Is this
Yeah.
book going to be easy to
To
advertise?
sell.
Oh,
And those spicy TikTokers are rabid. The saves that I get on my already saving them. And I'm hoping
yeah.
that that's a sign of like they want to come back to it later or it's a book they
Hmm.
might be interested in reading. Obviously, there is no book at the moment on it. It's just a testing kind of account.
We need to get
But
that
I'm like,
pre-order up like now, like
well, are you
yesterday.
reading or are you not reading?
I haven't started. I'll start this weekend.
I'm
I've
waiting.
been busy, Delport.
I'm waiting on you.
I was broken after my
I,
deadline, okay? I'm
I suppose I
recovering.
could put up a pre-order, but I don't know the first thing about covers, so
No, don't
I
put
would
up a
need to
pre-order. I'm going to put up the pre-order.
yes, yes, that's what we're doing. That was a very long-winded answer to newsletter slobs.
Was that the question? Gosh, okay.
Okay, I'm like the worst producer. I just never keep us on track. Okay, question 7. How does Substack work? I feel that we've actually answered
Covered that. Yes.
covered that. Yes, that's Substack
Yeah.
because we've spoken about it so much. But ultimately, Substack is a newsletter platform like a MailChimp or a MailerLite, but it has a lot more functionality. I think you can
Yeah.
have the
Podcast,
podcast, you can
video.
have the micro blogging, which I still love. So it's like Twitter
Yeah.
on. I do feel though, again, and I feel it must be said that Substack is an author
Yeah.
heavy platform.
Yeah. Agreed.
So
But there are authors making, or let's say rather say writers, making full-time income on Substack just by writing for their audience. And I think that's amazing.
yes, yes, I've seen that. It's crazy.
And then I
So
get spammed by these guys like, oh, how to grow your Substack, how to grow your Substack, because that means more money every month, you know?
yes. And it is very, very interesting. But I think if you want to monetize Substack like that, you need to be prepared to sit down every day and write a
Yeah.
piece of content every single day, whether
And
it's an hour or
quality,
5 hours.
quality.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
quality. Yeah, and keep plodding on. Okay, and yes, so the second part of that question, she did ask if it is newsletters or podcasts or both, and it is both. It's actually a really fun platform to play around on. There's a lot to do.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, so
Oh.
that is it. I thought there was one more question, but it wasn't. It was a note for the next episode. We can sign off. At least we have answered everything to the best of our ability.
That was great. So I feel like we had a proper catch up because we don't often speak
Yes,
about our own
stuff.
stuff. Yeah, in
And it's
depth like
nice.
this. Yeah, it's fun.
Yes. I like reader questions because I feel like it's giving the people what the people.
All the people, all 25 of them.
Yeah, it's nice to not always have to think of content and to also know like what people are drawing from episodes because obviously they've watched and then this is stuff that's come out that's oh, what is this? What is this? So if
Yeah.
anyone wants to ask anything, you can comment on the Substack or the YouTube wherever you're watching this episode, and we will compile them. And in a few weeks we will do another reader question episode. So yes, I think that's us. I think we can continue with our Friday now that we've had our little catch up. Welcome back.
Thank you. So nice
Nice
to
to
see
have
you
you back. I
again.
know you're leaving again soon, but we'll keep you as long as we can. My friend, will have a beautiful weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Okay, bye.
Bye.